are so strong.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Soul Strong podcast. And we are talking about something fun today.
Yeah.
We love having our friends. We love having our people around us, people that we confide in, people that are like our ride or die. And it's important to know that those kinds of relationships were also talked about in the Bible. Like friendships was a thing. Like there's people like David and Jonathan who were like best friends. And by the way, have you seen House of David?
No, is it good?
It's really good. Like,
I want to watch
obviously
it.
they take license on a few biblical things, but it puts you in the perspective of what the culture was like, and Goliath, they make Goliath look amazing.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, I'm so going to watch it.
Yeah,
Good.
it's just it's a great job of a biblical story. But the reason why I bring that up now is because Jonathan, you just really see how people respect him. And he was very well respected then. So so they have a great friendship. There's people like Elijah and Elisha who are more of like a mentoring kind of friendship that they have. And then obviously Jesus was with his disciples and they would have like just been so close in that time. Yeah. So we're going to talk about two ladies and their friendship and why friendships need to be safe and they need to be, as we've titled this episode, baby leaping friends.
Baby leaping friends. We have to explain that though, because when you first told me, I was like, what does that mean? Like we're having babies together? I don't,
Even though some people do. When I fell pregnant with Maverick, we knew and we hadn't told anyone. And then one of our cousins announced that they were pregnant and we were like, and then like about a month later or something, another cousin announced that they were pregnant and we were like, oh my goodness. Because it just meant that I knew that eventually when we announced as well that we'd all get to be pregnant together. And it was awesome. Yeah. And we got to be pregnant too.
Yeah. Both
for
Hunter and Jensen were 3 months apart.
3 months apart. Yeah. So that was really cool. And I think just that, I always say that like you were 3 months ahead. Thank God, because she did everything. And then I'd just be like, so what do I do now? What can I eat now? And you were like, Google it.
Read a book. No, that was after like 3 months of me like having to answer a million questions, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It was fun though.
Yeah.
Being able to just share really that experience together. So Elizabeth and Mary get to share that experience. So that's why it's baby leaping friends, because when Mary went to visit Elizabeth, the baby inside of her, which was later to be John the Baptist, literally leapt in joy. Yeah. But we'll get to that.
That's the Holy Spirit telling us that, because she could have just been like, oh, he moved. How funny when we hugged. He moved, but that's the Bible interpreting as the baby.
Well, it doesn't say that he moved or he kicked. It said he leaped. So it must have been a different sensation than what she was used to in order for someone to have recorded it as, which in this reference it's Luke, to have recorded it as the baby leaped in joy because of what
a bizarre fact.
Yeah, it's really cool. Should we do some questions?
Yeah. Okay. I'll spin the wheel for you.
Okay. 75.
Okay. What is a weird talent that you have that nobody knows about?
Oh, gosh.
Such a random question.
A talent?
I can pick up things with my toes.
Can you?
Yeah.
That is really weird.
Like if something drops on the floor, I'll pick it up with my foot and grab it.
Oh, that is weird. I don't think I can look at your feet the same.
Sometimes I do it and people are like, whoa. I'm like, what?
I don't think it's a talent though.
It's not.
No, not you. What am I about to say? I'm like, I can bend my fingers back really.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a talent.
Yeah, but it's like a weird, it's like kind of cool thing that you can do.
But our cousin, she can bend hers like right
all
back.
the way. I know, you can like basically touch.
I thought I could bend
hers
pretty
can basically
back, but
touch
then hers,
the back of her hand.
Yeah, I was like, okay. A weird talent.
Double jointed.
Yeah, okay, cool. You spin then.
73.
If your life had a theme song, what would it be? That's a great question.
That is such a hard question.
Just think like right now your life, if that makes it easier.
I feel like right now It's like Dolly Parton's 9 to 5.
That reminds me of Ladine. She always used to sing it. Stumble out of bed and double in the kitchen.
Jump in the shower and the shower starts pumping. Folks like me in the job 9 to 5. I actually love that song.
It's such
Whenever
a good
it comes
song.
on, I can listen. It's just such a good jam.
Have you seen the movie 9 to 5?
No, I haven't. I've always wanted to watch it, but I haven't.
It's like really quirky and kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think I'm just holding out to holidays. I've got
Yeah.
like 7 work days left or something, or 6 work days left or something like
Amazing.
that. So I'm just like, like going to work, just trying to get there, get the job done. Okay, you spin.
48 or 38. It just moved, whatever.
What is your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh.
But you can't answer.
Because it's Friends.
Yeah.
Like Friends is my all-time favorite TV show.
Yeah.
But I've watched it so much that there's times that I'm like, I can't watch it. Because
I'm on a massive Friends break right now.
Yeah.
It's been, I think, nearly 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Yeah.
The last time I watched it through, we were still living in our old house.
Yeah.
And we've been in this new house for like a year and a half now.
Well, I haven't watched it through for ages, but like someone was staying with us and they started watching Friends. So I watched a few episodes. Even after they left, I watched a few more. And then I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then but sometimes it comes up on Reels and I just will watch like a little funny part and I
Watching
laugh.
Reels from Friends.
Yeah. It's so funny.
So funny.
Yeah. So I think Friends is like an all time.
Yeah.
But I love Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Like I think in another year, I'll watch it again because it was just so funny. I've only watched it once.
That's like New Girl for me. Friends is like my all time, but New Girl is like, oh my gosh, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
And I can watch it. There's like 4 or 5 shows that are like my core that will always be my favorite.
Well, I'll tell you what show I'm currently watching.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through season 2. So I feel like I'm committed.
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. I don't know what I've done to myself.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to Grey's.
But the thing is with Grey's is that I have seen it here and there. So like something will happen and I'm like,
you know this.
I think that person dies or I think that person comes in or something like that. So
Everyone dies on Grey's. Everyone dies on Grey's.
Goodness. So now I feel like I've got like a clearer picture and I have a favorite character. I realized it in like the last couple of episodes. I'm like, this is my favorite character. Who do you think? Take a look at, and I'm in season 2, so this is like the early cast.
Boy or girl?
Girl.
Christina?
No.
Okay.
I don't dislike her. I think she's funny, but
definitely not Izzy.
No.
Oh, the head doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey.
I love Bailey. She's
you
the
would.
best.
Yeah.
She's
I forgot about her.
so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I just watched the episode where she's on maternity leave, but she does a consult for another doctor. And everyone's afraid of her. That's what I love about her is that she's like
the sass,
she's not even on the top.
Like everything about her.
And he's like, you're not supposed to be here. She's like, I'm not. It's like, so why am I seeing you? You're not. And then he's like, you're on maternity leave. She goes, exactly. She's like, she's so awesome. Yeah. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love her too.
What world have I stepped into?
Get ready.
So I'm actually reading Luke at the moment. So when this topic came up, I thought very fitting because I'm like right in it at the minute. And Mary receives like this life-altering news. So does Elizabeth, by the way. But we don't hear when Elizabeth hears about the news. We only know when she's actually pregnant and she thanks God for remembering her. I love that line so much. Because Elizabeth is older and she's been barren all these years, which was really a disgrace in that culture when you couldn't have kids. And she says, thank you, God, for remembering me in my old age and restoring grace to me. Oh, I love that line so much. But Mary gets these news. And actually, the pastor preached about this on the weekend, that she gets given this incredible news and she's like, oh, how will I know? How would this be? Because I'm a virgin. And the angel's like, well, the Holy Spirit will come upon you, tells it like all of this. And there's like, by the way, I mean, it doesn't by the way in the Bible, but he's like, by the way, Elizabeth's 6 months pregnant. And then that's it. That's the last thing that the angel says. And so the defining moment and why we're talking about this story is because when Mary finds out that she's pregnant, she goes to Elizabeth. That's her first point of call.
Yeah.
Not her own parents. I mean, maybe she did, but it's not noteworthy. Not Joseph. Definitely maybe, I mean, the angel had to work on him for a while. But she goes to Elizabeth, which means that Elizabeth was someone that was safe for her. And someone that essentially was on the same boat spiritually. So let's talk for a second about safe friendships. What do you think creates a safe friendship?
I think it's someone that when you talk to them, there's no like shock or drama or I don't know, like their reaction is not more important than what you have to say. And you can trust them. And there's loyalty, and you know that when you're sharing with that person, you know that for them, they're receiving it in that spirit of they're sharing with me. So it's in this safe place and it's in a vault, and it's not about me, it's about them. And is my reaction going to help them or not? You know, like is my response going to be what they need right now or not? And I'm not going to go and share this with anyone else or talk about it with anyone else. Like it's just an understanding of each other and who you are, and that you can rely on that person being there for you and not just for themselves. And I think as well, I'm really big on having friends that are not just going to, and I've said this in so many episodes, but just pander to whatever I'm feeling and just encourage whatever I'm feeling. I think it's so important to have friends that actually challenge you and push back on what you're saying. Not everything, like everything you say is like, but.
Yeah, that's just annoying.
But someone who's going to not just like, pour you with every single thing you have to say. Like they're able to reconcile with you, your situation, and offer other sides to the story and all of that. Because sometimes in friendships, you need someone to give you that perspective to help you get through what you're going through, because being stuck in one point or one side of the story for sometimes years, I feel like some women are from their hurt or from past relationships or friendships or things that have gone wrong, they can hold on to that stuff for years, you know, and as some friends, they'll just let you stay there.
Yeah.
But I think having a friend who encourages you with love and grace to leave things behind and to go from strength to strength rather than to just stay in the wallowing.
Yeah.
I think that's a really safe. And the reason I'm saying all these things, because for me, safety is not me feeling safe, but it's also like, am I being kept mentally well and safe in this relationship? That's safety as well. Well-being and being pushed to grow rather than to just
essentially
stay.
Like a reality check as well. Like not just...
Yeah, like they can hear you out
and
they can be there for you and understand and validate how you're feeling, but they're not just like excusing the whole world for why you're feeling the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
They're able to be real about stuff with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also understanding or getting you to understand that there's always two sides to the story and there is another perspective as well.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I really love about there's a couple of friends in my life that do that so well. Like they'll just be like, have you thought about it from their side? And I'm just like, no. Like it's like the last thing I want to hear at that time. But really, it's so important. And I find myself doing this, like even the other day, Hunter asked if he could be taken to school instead of catching the bus. And I was like, oh, you'd have to ask Daddy because he was going to be with him in the morning. And Zane was like, yeah, maybe I can take you to school. And then I was like, what's going on the bus? Like, why don't you want to go on the bus? And then he told us how, you know, there's a kid that said something that was quite nasty to Hunter. And always there's the mama bear in me that's like, okay, we'll take you to school every day. Like it's that you want to protect him. But then Zane was like, but hang on, because we don't want to just teach you that if there's a problem that we just run away from it. And then that was a moment where I was like, okay, well, maybe he's going through some stuff, like the kid that's saying that. And I used to actually hate it when mum would do that with us when I was little. I used to be like, can you ever just be on my side? That's what I still say that to this day sometimes.
I've heard you say that my whole life.
But now not just now, but I've learned to appreciate that putting ourselves in the perspective of someone else actually enables me to trust that friendship more because it means that person is seeing with a broader perspective than just the one that I'm bringing in that moment. And that's why I believe that safe friendships are also the friendships that do that, which is what we've talked about. But also, I liked what you said about not making it about ourselves when someone brings something to you. And I think that's really valuable because when we do come, it feels a bit dismissive when they're like, oh, yeah, the same thing happened to me. And then they're off on a tangent about what's happened to them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Or they just are like giving their opinion endlessly on their situation.
Yeah.
And I found myself doing that over the years where my friend has come to me with something and then I'm sharing my opinion on it and I'm on my own tangent. I'm like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
They just want to talk to me. They just want to share. So why are you giving your opinion? They didn't ask for that. They just need to come forward and there's no hijacking of the conversation.
Yeah.
I try really hard to not do that because I am very opinionated and I like to talk about things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just sometimes you go, it's not about you. And it's not about your opinion right now.
I'm not just opinionated, which I think is the same with you, but we've got a story for everything. So we're ready. Like you say, toothpaste. I got a story for you about that. Like we're ready to go with that, but we need to understand that sometimes, and this is somewhere where men can be more problem solvers. So when you come to them with something, it can be like straight to, okay, have you tried this? Have you done that? And sometimes I say this, definitely say this with my husband. I used to say with Dad all the time, like, I don't need you to solve my problem. I just need you to just listen and even say, yep, it sucks. And I think that that's something that obviously there has to be a bit of open and honest communication to be able to say that.
Yeah.
But I think safe friendships understand the timing of things as well. And that's the thing with these friendships is that, like, when Mary showed up for Elizabeth, she actually stayed with her for 3 months. Now, obviously, we don't live in a culture where we just go and stay at people's houses for, long periods of time. But I think it's that kind of a friendship that she felt she could do that, and she did. And I think that's such a beautiful thing when you do have people in your world that will like drop everything. Like my cousin from America, when she comes, even Zane knows this. All plans are pending because whatever she wants to do, that's what we're doing. And
because her being here is such a rarity.
It's a unique.
And spending time with her is such a rarity.
Yeah.
Not because she's a demanding princess.
But I just think that there are those kinds of friendships as well. Like there's certain people that I think it's good to just feel like, yeah, whatever you want to do. Like we're easy. It doesn't have to, we don't have to do this. Just the fact that we're together, like even one of my closest friends, I don't care what we do, just as long as we get to do it together.
Totally.
That's really the point of it.
Totally.
And I think the safety has come organically in our friendship as we've grown over time. Years.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've come to a point now, which I really love, that we're in, like, we've been friends for, I don't know, easily 10 years, but just the fact that we're like looking for any excuse just to be together. And the togetherness is where we can have those heart-to-heart conversations, because I think that's the beauty. Life doesn't have to always be about who we're confiding in, because sometimes it's just normal everyday stuff.
Yeah.
But also, do our values align?
Yeah.
Like, are we the kind of friends that A, B, and C is important to both of us?
Yeah.
Because then, oh, hey, hubby wants to do this. Yep, do it. Go for it. Like, because you understand that you share that same value.
That was going to be my next point, was like, it's also a friendship where you're you're like-minded. I think that is so important. There are some friends that I have that I adore, and we're not like-minded in every way, but I love them. And our friendship means just something a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But my closest friends, we have the same opinions and the same thoughts. And more often than not, we're thinking the same thing when something happens, you know? And that's hard to find. And I think it's important to celebrate friendships, but not to feel like no one should feel pressure like, I have to find that person. Like it's over time. You build these relationships over time. One of my close friends, we became close like just before I got married. And to this day, I'm like, I could have had you in my bridal party. Like I wish I had. But at the time we weren't that close yet. And it's been over years that we've just become so much closer. Yeah. And we're like-minded in so many different ways. And I think that's a part of the safety of knowing that I can share this with you and you know my heart.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe relationship is when you know that that person knows your heart or is able to digest the situation with you. And like you said, not always deep, just life in general.
Yeah.
You're digesting the situation and you're kind of both on the same page, or you know the other one so well that you can understand where they're coming from no matter what they say or do.
I also believe there's a difference between being there for someone and like pitying them as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's the difference between sympathy and empathy, where like you come and sometimes I've felt so stink when I have opened up to someone and they're like, oh, sucks. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I feel like, I don't know. I don't like that. I feel really like.
Because you feel alone.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't relate to what you're going through.
Well, I don't know if they can't or they're just not trying. Like it's very much this is a you problem and I'm just going to rub your back right now.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
they don't want to go through it with you.
Yeah. And then
I see that.
I don't even think that they intentionally meant that.
Yeah.
But that's how we can feel. So I have to check myself when people come to me that I'm not giving them that impression of like you're in the trenches, not me. But I'll peek in and I'll just like throw you tissues or something.
Yeah. No, totally. I think something else for me I'm really big on, a safe relationship is a relationship where I can say no to something and there's no hard feelings. Like there is no need to justify or explain myself as to why I can't make that thing or can't go or I just don't have it in me. Like I'm just tired and I need to just rest. So I can't come, you know, or I can't say yes to the invite or whatever. Some of my closest friends, we are so like, yep, whatever, all good. I totally get it. And I think because we're all mums and we're all tired and we're all like in desperate need of rest. But I can just say, hey, I'm not feeling great. Like I just need to rest or whatever, and full support. No worries, all good. You know, like, and there's no next time, all good. Next time, you know, there's no hard feelings. There's no like, oh, okay, you know, that's annoying, but okay. You know, like I love friendships where you can just be completely honest about where you're at and whether you can commit to things or not. And they're just supportive and understanding of it. And it's fine. It's all good. There's no pressure.
So I sent my friend a reel the other day because she's hardly ever on social media, so I can't tag her on it. And it's just this girl in her car with her massive sunglasses on. And she's like, why is it that the people that you can open up your heart to, like go straight to the deep stuff, you're ride or die, like she went on for a while, always live 5 bajillion miles away. And I was like, yes. Yeah. Because I so resonate with that. But I think that, and it made me think of it because Mary traveled a distance to get to Elizabeth. And so you think, okay, there must have been some situations where they had connected before because they didn't have phones or anything back then. So there would have been a moment where they would have spent time and they were spiritually aligned. Commentators actually talk about how there was a group of people that were waiting for the Messiah to come. And Elizabeth and Zechariah, Mary and Joseph, Anna and Simon, who were prophets, they were all part of that. So they were all believing in something that it was going to happen soon. So there was a connection there, but she's willing to travel whatever distance, pregnant. So who knows if she had morning sickness or whatever. And that's probably why she stayed for 3 months, because it might have taken her a hot minute to get there.
Well, she didn't even know she was pregnant. The angel told her. So clearly they're not close in proximity because she didn't even know that she was pregnant. But she's like, by the way, she's 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, that's
the angel,
right. Yeah,
so
yeah, that's right. That's
they're not
right.
even close.
Yeah. And Zechariah couldn't talk as well. So like, who's spreading the news that they're pregnant? But yeah, and it is like there is distance sometimes. But I think there are some things that we can talk about as well, just as we wrap up, in the sense of what we need from women, from the women, or not just the women, just the friendships in our lives that make the baby inside of them leap, metaphorically. So when Mary arrived, Elizabeth's baby leapt. And it's that sense of when you walk in the room, or when you make the phone call, or when you send the text, those safe women are so excited to hear from you. Or they're like, awesome, I'll reply. Awesome, I'll answer the call. Yep, I'll have a coffee with you. And there's some friendships in our lives that we need to like sift through, because not everyone is like that. And I think we need to be really discerning. And I think we're at the age in our lives where we can be intentional about who the people are in our world and who we give our energy to. I also think, going back to what you were saying about how it's not just about going to find that person, I think you can pray about it as well. Like, I think
totally.
there were many years when I was praying for certain friendships to come into my life because just because I was in ministry and I was, living my own life, and I just wanted to connect with people on my page, and again, none of them were necessarily super local, but I prayed for God to bring women in. And then God has graciously brought a few women into my life as of late who are a little bit older than me. And I have so much respect for them because they're just in that next, literally just a few years up
ahead,
from me.
Yeah.
Their kids are older. They've been in ministry for years, so they understand things. They get it. And they're so like, one of them, she taught at Sisters one time, and I was like, I think you're my new, I'm like such a fan of her because the way she spoke about teaching our kids the scriptures, I was so like, yes. And she was so just like, it was a no nonsense. No, we're not going to muck around here.
Yeah.
This is what we're here to do.
That's so good. Yeah.
So it was just cool to see that like there are friendships that can come into our lives later on.
Yeah. I think that's something that we have to embrace as we get older as women, that the best of everything comes the older you are, I find. Like, you have great relationships and friendships and so many good memories as a teenager and in your early 20s, like absolute highlights of my life. Sometimes I look back. But everything gets better as you get older. Your parenting gets better. The season you're in, your career, your marriage, your friendships, everything gets better. It's like wine. Like, it just gets better the older it is. And I think as women, that's something that we need to be embracing as we age, because there is such a pressure on slowing the clock down and staying forever young. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I'm doing everything in my power to not get wrinkly and whatever, there's nothing wrong with that. But
I'm using Nana's silk pillowcase now.
Yeah.
So that like I can, and I try really hard. I'm like, stay like this. Cause I'm such a side sleeper.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Just so that I can stop my wrinkles on my face.
And I'm looking at creams now that are just like a little bit more expensive because I'm older now. I'm in my 30s now, so things like that. But our friendships, I'm loving growing old with my girlfriends, and that you've got years behind you as a foundation and doing those seasons, and there's less mucking around. There's less being nice and beating around the bush around things. Like, you can just be yourself and be so honest. And I think it's so important to just embrace that as we get older, embrace the friendships that you can just be so candid, and be received with pure grace and I'll be candid back to you, and you belong. Yeah.
I think that Mary would have been going through a world of like emotions and thoughts and feelings and all of that. And as much as, you know, she's seen as such a righteous woman, I think in that moment she would have been full of questions and doubts. And to be in a place where you're able to be with someone, and because Elizabeth was older, we know that she was a lot older. I think Elizabeth would have called out so much goodness from Mary. Like, she would have been wise, obviously. She would have maybe settled Mary. She would have maybe said, look at what I'm going through. Like, I never thought this was possible, because it was really impossible what Mary was going through. And yet she was able to see Mary for who she was and just speak so much life and purpose over her. And I think sometimes we can have this perception in our minds that our friends are always going to be the same age as us. We have to have gone to school together or whatever. And there's actually studies about this, how we're so close with our college friends or high school friends because of proximity. We see them all day, every day. And in college, we lived with them for years. Yeah. But then when we're in our own homes, we're in our own jobs, we don't see each other very much. So obviously the friendship changes over time. And we can have this idea that we still have to be friends with the people our age. But there's so much beauty to be found in multi-generational friendships as well.
I think lean into it.
Absolutely.
I think lean into it. When I met Reggie and married him, I always say this, one of my favorite things that I inherited was one of his cousins, because she became like my cousin. And they're all my cousins. I love them all dearly. But I just became so close with her. Yeah. She's 8 or 9 years older than me. So I loved leaning into her wisdom. I loved hearing what she had to say about things. What was her perspective? If I shared something, what was all the kind of questions she would ask me? Grew me, different. You know, because she was coming from a wiser place, a place of insight. Yeah. And I appreciate that so much. And then I've got girls that I go to church with, and they're like 8 or 9 years younger than me. Yep. And I love their friendship. We'll go and get our nails done, or we'll go shopping together or whatever. And it's definitely more of a mentor-mentee relationship, but I still love it. And I love what I get to give to that. And I think as women, it's so important to be invested in intergenerational relationships. It connects back to the whole village community ideal that we're meant to be living in, where we're all influencing each other, and we're all passing things on to each other. And I've had many friends, a lot of my cousins, like you, for example, our relationship as sisters, you're older than me, but we've shared so many seasons together, and we've walked through so many things together, and we've both grown because of that. Some of my closest cousins are so much older than me, but I love hearing what they have to say. And I just want to soak in, like, teach me, feed into my life and embrace it, open up to people who have gone before you.
And that comes by having an open heart for that, because your mind is open. You want that. I think the same, there's a couple who they've been friends with our parents for years. And then in the last few years, we were going to the same church. So they became my friends. Like, we would hang out without mom and dad. Yeah. And even to this day, I saw them about a month ago. Every time I talk with them, I just feel like I'm just gaining so much wisdom. The way that they raised their sons, the way that because they were in ministry, and they're retired now. And so they're like a lot older than us, but the way that they talk about things, I just think that's so cool. And the same thing that my work bestie when I was at work was 10 years younger than me. Yeah. And I always felt like when she would invite me to things, I'm like, I'm so much older than you. Like, are you sure? She'd be like, yeah, come. And I loved it, because it just made me feel like I could still connect. Like, there's an opportunity for me to connect. And I think there's a wealth of wisdom that comes when we're open to different generations, different ethnicities as well. Like, the kind of people that you connect with, they don't have to look like you. They don't have to live the same, even be in the same industry as you, but you need those people. So we can't be dismissive that, oh, my best friend's 10 years older than me. Who cares? Like if they're your friend, if they are the kind of person that calls out life in you, then that's amazing. Like consider yourself blessed to be in the company of someone like that. And I think that's how we want to end it. Like I think we just want to encourage you that friendships are, they're a tricky business. Sometimes the biggest pit in our stomach can be over friendships, the biggest hurts. But some of the best things in life can come out of beautiful friendships. Businesses have been started, families have been restored because of friendships. Like so many amazing things can come out of friendship. And I think it's a beautiful thing that we can look at these women and plenty of other friendships and say, okay, who am I safe with? But also, who do I need to create safety with?
I am, you are, we are so strong.